Welcome from cluttered to clean, staying on top of your Gmail inbox and keeping it that way. Hi, everybody. I'm Maximus McCullough, a full stack web developer over at a1websitepro.com. And today I'm here to help you clean up your Gmail inbox. Sometimes it is a nightmare. I just helped somebody the other day that had 682,000 emails in their inbox. And I showed them how to clean that stuff out and keep it organized. I'm here to show you the same thing. Now, I took the liberty of sending myself several emails. But first of all, let me get off the screen here. There I am down here. Hello. Anyway, as you can see, I have emails starting to come in. And this is when you want to be on top of your game. Now, these other emails that we were working with the other day, like this Maximus up close, if we want to just go ahead, we can unstar those right now because they're no longer important to us. We already read them, right? Now, the other thing that we could do is archive. So archive is a great feature. So let's go to this first email that we got. And I'm going to go up here. And you see this little button right here? It's going to archive that email. It's not going to delete it. Because if you delete an email, it goes to your trash for 30 days and then it's deleted permanently. What archiving will do is it'll keep it in your inbox so you could search it later if you have to. And so we archive messages two different ways. One, when we're in the email inbox, we could select this archive button and that just archives it. But notice we have three more from Maximus up close. So we could just tick these three boxes and then go up here to the archive and select that, and automatically that archives all the emails, but keeps it in your email, keeps them searchable, but you'll be able to see them. Now, the other thing that you can do is if you click on the labels like we made in the tutorial before, you'll be able to see those archived emails in here. Now, let me go ahead and create the filter that throws all the existing emails into this label. Let me show you how to do that right now. What I want to do is I want to go up here to the search box. And I just want to type in that email address, maximusupclose@gmail.com. And I could just select it right here. And you can see that I have these emails coming in. Now, I want to create the filter to throw them into the Max label. So all I have to do is tick these and go over to the More button. And then create filter messages like these. And whenever I have anything coming in from Maximus up close or Maximus McCullough, Maximus B McCullough at Gmail, well, we'll take that one off because that's the email address that we're working in. But whenever we have anything coming from Maximus up close, we want to create a filter. Okay. And then we want to apply it to the label of personal Max, just like so. Now notice down here, also apply filter for matching conversations. Click create filter. And now whenever we go to Max, go ahead and refresh this. We have our emails, all the emails coming from Maximus up close are put into this filter. Now, if we go back to the inbox, we still have an email here from Maximus up close. That's because we didn't archive it yet. So all archived emails that come in from now on, if they're not read, they're going to be in your inbox. If they are read and archived, they're going to be in the Max box label down there. So that's a great way to take your emails in your filters and then organize them over here on the left. So let's look at our inbox here, and you can see Maximus up close is here. Let's say that we open this email. Okay, here's another email for me. We're just going to go ahead and unstar that because stars are like kind of important stuff. And so let's click archive. And now Maximus up close is out of here. You know, it's out of our inbox. Keeping your inbox, I like to keep mine totally clean. I don't like to see anything in my inbox. That's why I use these labels. Now, if we click on the label here, we could see that email is indeed in there. Okay. So that is how you use archive and then filters with archive for your emails. They're still searchable when you archive them. If you delete them, they're unsearchable after 30 days. Now, if you're like me, you like keyboard shortcuts, and they have keyboard shortcuts in Gmail, and they're really cool. So if you want to see what's available, always remember this. Shift ? All right? While you're inside your Gmail. And then you'll get this list. So let me go ahead and close it. You got to make sure you click that you're inside Gmail. I just made that mistake. But you hold Shift and the ? And then all your shortcodes come up. However, if you find them shortcuts not working, what you want to do is come over here to where it says Settings, click See All Settings, and then you want to scroll down to where it says Shortcuts, and you need to enable that feature. Now, I'm just going to hit Control F on my keyboard and type in Shortcuts. That helps me get to where I'm going faster. So I'm going to click here, Turn Keyboard Shortcuts On. And now whenever I go back to my inbox, I got to click OK. I got to make sure you go down to the bottom and save. So let me go back to the settings, see all settings, scroll down. Keyboard shortcuts are off. I want to turn them on. And then I scroll down here, click Save Changes. Okay, so there we go. We have our keyboard shortcuts on. And now if I want to see what's available, I hold Shift and the ? And voila, there's our keyboard shortcuts. And you might not know it, but you can scroll down on this and see what's available. So for example, we have jumping. To get to your inbox, no matter where you're at. So let's click on this label Max, and then we'll hit G, then I. Notice how that takes us immediately back to our primary inbox. So once again, let me click on Harley, click on the letter G and then the letter I, and that takes us straight to our inbox. Pretty cool, huh? Now there's another really cool shortcut that I like to use. Whenever you're in your inbox and you want to label something that comes in and you want to do it quickly, you don't want to create a filter or anything like that. You just tick on the box of the email that you want to label and click the letter L. If your shortcuts are turned on, then you could go ahead and send it to whatever label that you want, and then click apply. And what that does is that applies that email to that label. It's really quick. So that's just by hitting the letter L. Remember, you have to have the keyboard shortcuts turned on before these work. So that's another pro tip in Gmail. And once again, if you ever want to see what's available, just click on the ? And it'll bring up your list of shortcuts that you can use while you're inside your Gmail program. Okay, now let's say that there's an email that comes in, but you don't want to deal with it right now, but you don't want to see it in your primary inbox. There's a feature called Snooze. So here are a few emails. We'll take this one from Epic Survival Secrets. When you hover over it, the last one has this little clock. That's Snooze. If you click on that, and you could say snooze until later today at 6 p.m., tomorrow at 8, or this weekend. So we could select snooze until later today. Now notice that it goes out of the inbox. Later on today, it'll come back in, and then I can deal with it then. There is also a keyboard shortcut, now that I introduce you to keyboard shortcuts, that you could use for snoozing. And to get to where that is, all you have to do is hit Shift ? And then hit Control F on your keyboard and type snooze like that. And you notice if you go from G to B, you'll go to the snooze conversations. And then also, if you just hit B, you can snooze that particular email. So for example, let's go to our snooze email by just hitting hit G and then B. And this should take us to our snooze conversations. So it's not 6 p.m. yet, but we could see that it's 6 p.m. over here. Now, the other thing that you could do, which is another keyboard shortcut, if you go to inbox, and let's say that this one, A1 Website Pro Yahoo, I want to snooze this one. Now, I can open the email, glance at it, and just hit the letter B. And then my snooze menu will appear. Now I could pick a date and time, or I could say until next week or until later on today. The other thing that you could do is you can tick that box and hit the letter B, and you'll also get your snooze menu there. So that's a great way to be efficient with your time, deal with it at a later time, especially if it's something that you don't want to deal with right now, or it isn't pertinent to deal with it right now. Anyway, that's the snooze feature and how to use it. Now, if you don't like this layout, you could change the layout of your Gmail by going to settings. So I like it with my tabs across the top, and I have them in different places. I don't know, I am just used to it. I like it that way. But let's say that you don't. Well, if you wanted to change the look and the layout, you go up to settings here, click see all settings, and then over here where it says inbox, you can choose a different type of inbox type. Right now I have it on default, which is what you guys see. But let's say that you wanted to go to priority inbox. And what that'll do is that'll put important unread on top, then starred, and then there will be the empty, there's two empty sections and then everything else. But let's go ahead and scroll to the bottom here and then click save so you could see the layout of this particular Gmail inbox. Notice how it has important on unread first, and you could close that up. The next is the starred, which we don't have anything starred, but maybe we'll star the ugly trucker here, put something in starred, and then everything else. So let's go ahead and select our inbox type. Boom, 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 boom. So let me refresh it here. Okay, so now notice we have important unread, then our start, and then everything else down here. Now you saw those two little empty things. So let me show you what that does. If we go here to settings, settings, see all settings, go to inbox, and right now we have the priority inbox, important and unread, then starred, then we have an empty section. So let's select this, and maybe we want to show up to 5 items. Okay, so in that section right there, and maybe we want it to be more options. Maybe we want it to have personal max in it. Okay, so that's what that third one's going to be. And if we scroll down, click Save Changes, and then it'll bring up our inbox. Now notice we have important unread, then starred, and then everything from max, and then everything else on the bottom. Okay, so that's how you could change it. But I like it. I kind of like it the horizontal feel. To me, it just feels better. But of course, you do whatever you feel is good as to you. And then of course, you could use these different settings like multiple inboxes, starred first, unread first. I like mine set to the default. So that's what I'll do. I'll click down here, select Save Changes. And now I have it just the way that I want it. Now, I was just thinking to myself, I should go over those other settings, but your go-to every time, if you want to do anything in Gmail, should be this little gearbox, click See All Settings. Okay. The thing that you see right away, those are just like quick things. So if we go over to the inbox, and I have mine set on the default inbox type, but if you scroll down here, you can enable the reading pane, unenable. You can have reading pane positions to the right of the inbox or below the inbox. I like to have mine on no split. You could have those markers shown, the important markers. I like to see them. If you don't like them little yellow markers, you don't have to use them. And it says here, use my path to predict what's important and what's not. That's what I usually have, but you could turn this off, and as the emails come in, you can mark them important. Here's the other thing that you could do. If you wanted to see all your mail, you can override the filters for your primary inbox. That means it's not going to archive it and put it in the label. It's going to override that filter. Okay. But I like mine the way it is set up now. I think that's what works best for me, because I'm all about getting back to my clients and answering my emails and social media and stuff like this. So this works out really good for me. Now, if you wanted to see what that looked like real quick, the inbox type settings that we go to in the back by clicking this gearbox, we can also just click the gearbox once and it brings up our quick settings. So let's go ahead and take a look. If we go down here, we've already covered, our themes and stuff like that in our previous tutorials. But the reading pane. So notice if I select right of the inbox, notice what happens. Now, whenever I select an email, I'm going to see it on the right. Of course, this box is in the way. I could click this. So some people like to check their emails and see it on the right. The other thing that you could do is you could put it underneath. And let me scroll down here to where it says below the inbox. So as you click them up there, it shows below the inbox. Okay. Now, the way that I have it set is no split, which means whenever I click this, I got to double click it and it opens the whole thing up, but in kind of like in a new window. And that's the way that I like to see it. But anyway, this kind of stuff here, it's all a matter of personal preference and what you like to see. So, but I thought it was important that I showed you guys how to do that quickly, as well as do it in the back in the settings. Now, I know we talked a lot about filters, but we cannot talk about them enough. These are going to help you reduce stress, keep your work streamlined, keep the junk out of your inbox, so that anybody that gets your email and they continue to send you junk and spam emails, if they don't have an unsubscribe button, the only thing that you can do is filter that, especially if they're making it to your inbox. So let's talk about this again. So let's go ahead to go to quick see all settings, filters and blocked addresses. So right here, I have these two filters, Maximus up close and Maximus up close. They're actually the same. This one I'm applying to the label personal max, and this one also is applied to the label personal max. So I'm just going to delete that filter. Select OK. And now it's going to do the exact same thing. But you can actually select a bunch of email addresses and put it in one filter. So for example, if I select create new filter, and I want to make sure that whenever these email addresses come in to my inbox, that they just get deleted right away. I don't want to see them. I want them in trash. So let's pick an email address or two. email@email.com. Now, if you had more email addresses, you could comma separate them like that and put email@ddd.com and so on and so forth. And you could add you could put 1,000 emails up here. And you can also do that by selecting them in your inbox. But anyway, so you could put all these email addresses. The last one, you don't have to have a comma on it. And then you could select create filter. Now, what we want to do to this is we want to delete it. So if we ever get an email from email@email.com or email@ddd.com, we just want to delete it. We don't want to see that. We don't even want it coming up in our inbox. And just select create filter. Now, anytime someone sends you that, boom, they get just deleted. So that is your filter there. Now I'm just going to go ahead and delete that because those aren't even real email addresses. But you could create new filters right here. Now, the other thing that you could do is whenever an email comes in and you can block it, this is where you can find it. If somebody's bothering you and you don't want them to, you can actually tick on the box and these three little dots right here, or you can open the email, select those three little dots, and we can block them right here. Block Yahoo at a1websitepro.com. But let's say that you do that by mistake. So click block. And now if I go to that email, it's going to ask me to unblock the sender, but I can actually go to my see all settings, filters and blocked addresses. And you can see that this email address I have blocked. So I'm just going to select unblock. click unblock. Okay, they're cool. But when you block email addresses, that keeps the junk from coming into your inbox as well. Okay, so two very important features: filtering and blocking. This will keep your email clean, your Gmail clean. It'll keep it streamlined, stress-free. Don't be afraid to use those features. And if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter, because you could come back in here and correct your mistake. Now, I know we all subscribe to email newsletters. Even I on A1 Website Pro, I have an option where people can subscribe. But it is by law that there has to be an unsubscribe link at the bottom of those emails. And you're better off hitting unsubscribe at the bottom of that email. Number one, it benefits you. You're not going to get any future subscription emails. And number two, it benefits the person sending the emails, because usually those programs, they don't send to unsubscribe users. And you could always resubscribe at a later time. But if your life is getting complicated because of all the emails that are coming in, and maybe you're partly to blame because of the subscriptions that you've created, click that unsubscribe button. That will also help keep your email inbox clean. Now, the other thing too is you could harness these features right on your Google app on your smartphone or your tablet. So here we go. Let me go ahead and record this session for you. Now notice all these emails here, and I just want to delete them because they're from Facebook, they're junk. I could check those on Facebook. Now I'm going to slide to the right. Okay, I'm sliding to the right, and just notice how that's deleting it. Now, if I come to an email that I want to see later, for example, this Maximus McCullough one, maybe I want to read it later. I could slide it to the right and just archive it. See the green one? But if you slide to the right, it deletes it. Slide to the left, if you slide it to the left, it'll archive it. But these ones I can just delete just like so. And this is nice because, if you're sitting on the throne and you have nothing to do but sit there and utilize some time, well, you could go ahead and, take advantage of that time by utilizing it. The most important thing about your emails in Gmail is to be diligent. If you ignore it, it only gets worse. They're going to keep coming back. But hopefully by using these tools and implementing these methods, you're going to have a cleaner, streamlined Gmail inbox, and it's going to reduce your stress, anxiety, and the emails that you don't need to see, you never have to see again. And there's very easy and simple ways to get rid of them. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for watching my video.